Welcome to the Patriots Lab, where we ain't even trying to make them liberals mad. Cause freedom of speech is what us individuals have. It's the gift when we gab, talking about things that the brainwash cannot mentally grasp, like staying loud and waving our American flags. This is for the free thinkers, wearing their MAGA and wearing the cags. Draining the swamp is the ultimate goal, but the sheeple will swear it's a fad, like it's just a phrase. But when we show them the facts, the fools got nothing to say. And deep government state wanna get up in our face, but hasn't done it yet cause Trump's in the way, trying to protect us from a troublesome fate. And because of that, we'll never lose our faith, plus God keeping us cool and safe. But I still hope we get 4 more years so we could throw a huge parade. I can see it now, Patriots on a float, and POTUS will go down in history as one of the GOATs for making the swamp pay for taking every one of his votes. His enemies are the cancer, whether or not Trump give him the smoke. Now relax it back and take notes as we kick facts with the homie Ray though. Speak your mind in the Patriots Lab. It's freedom time in the Patriots Lab, where we ain't even trying to, we make them liberals mad. I said speak your mind in the Patriots Lab. It's freedom time in the Patriots Lab, where we not even trying to, we make them liberals mad. I said, speak your mind in the Patriots Lab. It's freedom time in the Patriots Lab, where we not even trying to, we make them liberals mad. Speak your mind. It's freedom time. Without even trying to, we make them liberals mad.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Good afternoon, people, patriots, whoever you consider yourself to be. Welcome to a surprise pop-up edition of Morning Coffee. Let me get my links out here. You know, sometimes we got to go through what we go through. For those who haven't seen me in a minute, I guess social media decides when and if they want to allow the truth tellers to be up on the platforms, bringing the actual and factual. So, by me laying low for a little bit, I think I flew under the radar just a little bit. But you know, it's always the same old, same old. I want to say good morning to everybody. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, ring the bell, and let's go ahead and start the conversation. So, before we get into everything, what do we need to do? We need to give belated Father's Day shout outs. I hope everybody had a great Father's Day. I hope you was appreciated by your kids, by your significant others. I know I was, especially the days that we're dealing with nowadays. You just want to make sure that you keep your loved ones close. Tell them you love them every day, because you never know where we're going to end up on a day-to-day basis. Well, Trump started out, and y'all know, Trump. He started out in New York City, and he did the rally there, and it was great. He went to the bodegas, and you can sort of see it coming. It was sort of a trend. And then after that, I believe he made his pit stop on his way to New York City. Then he went to Chicago, and they welcomed him with open arms. Well, while we were all lollygagging, enjoying Father's Day weekend and everything, Trump made a great stop in the Motor City of Detroit, Michigan. And I show it because it's not just anomaly. It's not just something that's happening in just one particular location. It's happening all over the place. And they love to have this man here. And if I can, let me see if I can get it, because they're waking up everywhere. But I'm gonna go ahead and show this first video, and then we will critique it as he visits the church in. We don't need to see. We don't need to see Byron Donaldson. We know about Byron Donaldson. I want to hear from the people. I want to see what the people got to say.
Trump is good for black voters? I think it's phenomenal for black voters. Absolutely. And there was things I wanted to talk to him about. I'm a truck driver for 16 years, and I see where the supply chains are breaking down, but obviously I didn't get a chance to do that.
Absolutely. He was good for black folks when he was best friends with Jesse Jackson back in the day.
Absolutely.
Ooh, sure
Especially
was.
compared to Biden. I mean, Biden ain't even, I don't even know if he can even think on his own. You know what I'm saying? So it's no comparison. Trump's 4 years versus Biden 4 years. There's no comparison.
No comparison whatsoever. And this is just everyday, ordinary Americans that just happen to be black telling you the actual and the factual.
I do. I think his openness to engage in transactional dialogue is the first step. To come into a space where transactional dialogue from that level of leadership from this type of community doesn't exist, I think that is a first step of saying, hey, I didn't seem to get your vote in high numbers in the last election cycle. I've learned the lesson. I'm here. I think it was the first step.
Him getting convicted of paying his lawyer and calling it a legal fee is the most ridiculous thing I have ever heard. You know what I'm saying? So, if anything, that's making my support grow stronger because I see people get falsely convicted and the court system go target somebody. If they got a target on your back, obviously they'll make up anything. It was clearly targeting, and they wanted to do it before the election. It's clearly, it's too clear that it was political.
See, when you start messing around with the everyday, average, ordinary person, after a while, they get sick and tired of being sick and tired. And see, what these Democrats, for some reason, fail to realize is people are hip to their game. People are 1,000% hip to everything the Democrats are doing. So now we have the commercials coming out about Trump. But before we get to the commercials that they wasn't going to add, the ads that they wasn't going to run, now that they're running, being that he's a convicted felon, it's just making him look more and more dumb.
If he's such a big criminal, racist, this, that, and the other, and the thing you get him for is paying his lawyer, I mean, I'm with him.
It bothers me that they lied against him and they're just trying to prevent him from running and actually winning. But however, I am very proud to be voting for a convicted felon for president.
They're doing to him what they've been doing to us for 400 years, man. You know what I'm saying? That's why I really like him. He don't have to do this. He does not have to. He's a billionaire. He can go to the beach.
And that's what people understand. He doesn't have to do this. Trump doesn't have to be doing this. Ask yourself a question. Isn't there better things that you yourself as a billionaire would rather be doing than wasting? This is like a video. Is it like a video game to him? Because this is some real life shit. Is Donald Trump that rich that he thinks this is a game that he can play? Well, he playing a game. He playing it. He playing it, and he winning too. And he winning. That's what the Democrats hate. Donald Trump is beating them at their own game.
And no one would fault him, you know what I'm saying? But he's real, he's strong, and he's the only one who can help us. You know, there's others who can help us but don't have the notoriety and don't have the fame. He's taking care of business, and he's already done it once. I want to see it again.
That's right.
This is great. There's a scripture in the Bible that says there's a benefit of persecution. And as a black man, and fortunately enough, I have not been caught up in the criminal system, but I have so many people that I can immediately touch, cousins, uncles, that are a part of that system, and their process to ascend beyond that is ridiculous. They've been out of jail for 15, 20 years. Some can't even get gun, and that's what their original charge wasn't even gun related. So I think that because he had these charges, and because now our white brothers and sisters are saying a corrupt prosecutor, a jury not really going focused, a judge that's biased. Now they're seeing what we've been talking about in the hood for 15 years. Now they probably like, yeah, let's dive deep into criminal justice reform, because really some of the policies that they are using and the language that they're using to go after him was really designed to go after black men.
What do you think about people that say he's racist?
Well, for lack of a better word, they're idiots and uninformed. You know, they obviously don't remember when they were putting dollar gas in their car.
So what I love about it is these people don't have to make anything up. They don't have to make none of this stuff up. Only thing they got to do, and only thing you got to do, is be true to yourself and be true to the game. That's all. Be true to yourself and be true to the game, and be true to your family. Are y'all tired of living a lie? I never attempted to live the lie, the nightmare, whatever you want to call it. I never attempted to live it. But for those of you out there that lived it for a little bit, aren't you tired? Aren't you tired?
You know, so what can you say? You know, leave them out there, but just make sure we vote.
That's another fear tactic. Like I said, we had him for 4 years. If he was this big racist, whatever, he would have did, or whatever he would have did, or whatever. And nobody never said he was racist until he said he was a Republican. Jesse Jackson, he helped with his campaign when he was running.
Did we forget about that? Did we forget that he funded not once, but twice Jesse Jackson's campaign, and black people loved Donald Trump? What happened? What happened, my people? What happened? See, what had happened was, yeah.
Al Sharpton loved him before he said he was a Republican. So it's just, they so hypocritical in the fear mongering. I don't go for it. You know what I'm saying? Hit me with some facts. Anybody can say anybody. I can say Joe Biden racist, and he got a lot of racist stuff to back it up.
I used to be offended, and now it just tickles me. It's because I said, clearly you don't remember the Muhammad that he's staying with, Muhammad Ali, Al Sharpton, Jesse Jackson,
Preach.
all the money that he's given to the HBCUs. Come on, and look at, he's here. He came to the hood of Detroit. This isn't the best area either. Okay, and he spoke with us. Even Obama didn't do that. So come on.
So, as the sister just clearly stated, even Barack Obama himself wouldn't step foot in the hood. See, do we notice a trend here? Do we see who fits in and who doesn't fit in? Do we see who's not afraid and who really is afraid? Trump ain't just going to surround himself with black folk that are already doing good. No. Trump is strategically going into the hood. First of all, you know why he's going into the hood? Because he's never been scared of the hood, because he's part of the hood. For some reason, the hood forgot that.
Where did he say it? Where's the video? Where's the example? Show me, show me. I mean, I'm 37. I'm not 40 yet. And Joe Biden sat in the United States Senate for longer than I was alive and crafted policies that was detrimental to my community. to my community, people that look like me. With somebody on stage today that said that there's a church on Woodward and 7 Mile that they've been building for 18 years that's still not done. Donald Trump was in office for 4 years. Four. You know, that's your baby not even in kindergarten. Your baby's still in daycare for 4 years. So Donald Trump, 4 years in office, Joe Biden, 40 years in the United States Senate. And the first thing he got in office and did, he signed the Asian hate bill. I don't know. I don't believe he's racist, you know. And if I had to say, I don't think Joe Biden is racist. I think he's a recovering racist.
And I got my truck train going by. Good morning, Skip. On the board, truck train in the back. Thank you for that, Skip. I try to bring you good analysis. But that gentleman that just spoke, he kind of had a point. If you listen to what he said, but there was a lot of people who had some good points. But if you listen to the comment that the last gentleman said, Joe might be a recovering racist. You know, when you get a certain age and Father Time caught up with you and you're trying to right all your wrongs, you know, that racist man that never liked black kids when he was growing up, all of a sudden he want all the black kids on his lap. You notice that? Because I can damn near almost guarantee that when Joe Biden was 36, 37, 38, he wasn't smiling like that in front of black folk face. Remember, he was hanging out with Strom Thurmond and Senator Byrd and them folk and signing bills to lock brothers up and shit. He wasn't smiling like that in front of black folk. Now, everywhere you go, Joe Biden's he got pop-up shops all over black churches around places. Joe be popping up at black daycares. Joe pop up with some fried chicken at the black family house. You'd have never caught Joe like that 40 years ago. Good morning, Vince. I'll see you soon out there, my brother. I will see you soon. That is for damn sure. But, you know, I'm the type of person, I'm confrontational. I love to debate. I somewhat love to argue. I do. Why do people listen? I guess it's just dumb people that want to argue mute and dumb points. But I'll go there with you. If I know I'm standing on the actual and factual, which is 90% of the time, and when it comes to this stuff that we're dealing with in today's events, it's probably 97% of the time. Oh, bring a lunch, bring a snack, bring your dinner. Yeah, it's gonna be a long afternoon. Because what some people see and what we see, and when I say we, I mean us sane people, what we see is still something totally different. Listen, over the weekend, look, this is how messed up, not messed up, but this is how crazy the mind can be. I literally had somebody tell me, man, right? Yeah, I like Trump. I mess with Trump. I'm voting for Trump. Only thing I don't like about Trump is he a racist. I said, you lost me. You just lost me. Because like the other brother just said in the video, where is the tape? Where is the proof of Donald Trump saying, if you don't vote for me, you ain't black? Where is the tape of Donald Trump saying, I don't want my kids to grow up in the ethical jungle? Where is my Donald Trump tape saying every time you come out of a 7-Eleven, You come out with an accent. Where is Donald Trump hanging out with KKK members and all this shit? Where's Donald Trump signing anti bills that lock up people for longer extended period of times and shit like that? Where's that footage? But we got to do this. We got to justify the unjustifiable. That's what we got to do. We got to make lemonade out of bananas. Because they bananas. They are bananas. But slowly but surely, they're turning around. So, after Trump took his trip, you know, a couple of people had something to say just to show their appreciation for him coming. And I'm so
President Trump was so humble that you would be here. President Obama never came to the hood, so to speak, right?
Hey, you heard him. Obama never came to the hood. Y'all thought it was me? Nope. Never came to the hood.
President Joe Biden, he went to the big NAACP dinner, but he never came to the hood. So thank you.
Did anybody ask why they never went to the hood?
Our community is disenfranchised, we're marginalized, we're pushed aside. And there are two things that are happening with crime and employment. You're an entrepreneur. How do you see funding entrepreneurs, specifically keeping the Black dollar in the Black community?
And you know what I love about it? They can literally sit there and ask him a question. Do you think they could ask Papaw that question and get an answer? Or we gonna get into Papaw in a little bit. This man, is he the second coming of Frozen or what? But back to Donald Trump and the Black community.
Let me explain. If I want to eat, I have to give my money to the Albanians at Coney Island. If you want to get gas, you need to go to the Chaldeans. If you want to have your hair look like mine, you got to go to Asians. I thank God for Asians. My wife is right there. She's Asian. Our children are Asian. So I give it up to my Asian brothers and sisters. But we don't keep the Black dollar in the Black community. You're an entrepreneur. What does it look like for Black entrepreneurs to be able to get the resources they need so we don't look for a handout, but a hand up?
And you know, and we talk about this, you have a lot of dollars in the Black community and they don't keep it. I think one of the biggest problems that I see is the crime. They have to stop the crime. If they stop the crime, you're going to see more and more stores sprout.
Look, I will continue to show Donald Trump in the actual and factual true definition of who this man is and not who they portray him to be. That's why they won't keep me up. That's why they won't keep me on the air. Because I refuse to sit or stand idly by and watch a corrupt entity destroy a man who is literally trying to do nothing but improve the well-being of all Americans, including the Black community.
And we're losing them in other communities too, where there's crime. You see empty stores, you see them all. You see big stores they moved in 10 years ago. They spent millions of dollars to build it, and now they're leaving. And these are not necessarily Black communities. In many cases, they're not at all. But when there's crime, there's empty stores, and you don't keep the money. So I think the biggest thing we can do is stop the crime. We're going to stop the crime. We have to let people feel free and be able to walk outside and not even think about being mugged or hit or shot or anything. And, you know, one of the examples, I see the love in this church. It's incredible what you've done. You've done an incredible job. I would like to ask if you could final out with a prayer. Is that okay? I don't want to get you by surprise here because this was not, but I've heard so much about you and so many great things, and it's such an honor to be here. It's such an incredible honor. And with so many of my friends that are political leaders that are really going places, and he is on the list, by the way, and I don't know if he's going to make it, but he's on a list of a few people, right? Not too many people. Would you like to be VP? One day may be a good one too, but I'd love to ask you to finish off with a prayer. Does that make sense?
I would love to pray.
Thank you very much.
Let us bow our heads. Heavenly Father, we thank you for.
Well, we're going to let him pray. But like I was just saying, I will continue to show Donald Trump on every opportunity that I get, because that right there, ladies and gentlemen, that is the actual and factual Donald Trump. Joe Biden don't give a damn about the black community. He can't talk business like that with community leaders who are trying to excel and develop their communities. What kind of advice is Joe giving anybody other than his son and tell him to keep the kilo under a certain weight so you don't do so much time? I mean, Papaw hasn't given nobody no advice. He can't. But here you have Donald Trump sitting down and people literally asking him not about policy or what he's going to do for the community if elected. No, what they are doing is, and what they did, they tapped into his psyche. How did you become successful? How did you become the entrepreneur that you are? So then they, in return, can model that as a blueprint. Like he said, we don't want a handout. We need a hand up. Seeking that knowledge. That's what he was doing. How? How do you do it? The alpha males, and we're going to be talking about that in the next couple of coming up episodes. The alpha males of this country have to stand up in the eyes of all adversity and everything that you might be afraid of. The alpha male has to finally decide that, you know what? I've been put in a position to play a mighty role in a situation like this. A role of leadership. Look, what they are doing to Donald Trump, I don't just have to say it anymore. I don't have to say, but I will continue to. Because you know what? Along the way, over the years, there have been possibly hundreds of thousands that have heard either my voice or the voice of others who have decided to stay true to what this really is, and they have let it sink in. They have let it sink in. But, you know, I don't I don't want to just say, you know, I don't want people, well, you know, it's just the black community and all of this that's voting for Trump. And no, because it doesn't just affect a community of people. This crap that's going on right now, it it affects a lot of people. And one of the areas that it's really affecting that I never thought it would ever affect or they would ever acknowledge it's affecting them is an area in California called Silicon Valley, which historically, over the little bit of time that Trump has been around, we come to known as to hate Donald Trump. Literally. But let me show you this clip, and then you judge for yourself if it's just not black people or men.
One former Democratic fundraiser who helped raise millions of dollars for former President Obama's 2008 presidential campaign is not only supporting former President Trump, she's selling her collection of Democratic collectibles.
Selling that
Joining
shit.
us now is Allo Ventures managing partner Allison Wynn. Okay, so Allison, this collection is worth millions of dollars. I think you have like JFK's rocking chair in there and the original Obama Hope sign and all these things. You're selling that and flipping from the left to Trump. What's causing you to do that?
Well, I had a really hard time during the pandemic. I'm a single mom of 3 teenagers living in the San Francisco Bay Area. So you can imagine some of the trials and tribulations I went through.
Allison, a lot of people struggled. A lot of people are looking at the two presidents in their record and saying, here's how I lived under Trump. Here's how I lived under Biden. I'm going to make a different choice than I did in the last election. But you're at least willing to step up and say, the party has gotten too progressive and at least for now has lost its way. Why are other Democrats so unwilling to do that?
Well, with the Post article coming out, a lot of my friends called me and said, wow, you're speaking up and telling people your experience as number one, an immigrant, a big tech insider, as well as living in San Francisco and Silicon Valley, and some of the things that has gone awry. So our policies, our super liberal leftist policies with San Francisco, it's a science experiment gone awry. And it's the same thing with big tech. There's the big tech and big corporate takeover of the Democratic Party, and our daily lives, the daily lives of parents, I guess soccer moms like me, was really bad during COVID. I homeschooled 3 kids, grocery stores were closed, retail malls were closing all over the San Francisco Bay Area, right? And like I have 2 teenage girls that can't even go to Macy's. Like it's
Now, this lady right here, she is a former Barack Obama fundraiser. And she is now explaining that things have gotten so bad that there is an entity of the party that she's a part of, which is the Democrats that myself used to be affiliated with. There is an entity that has taken over this party and is basically destroying it. And she's just basically saying she's had enough. She's tired of being sick and tired, and she's willing to stand up.
Closed now.
Right.
Just going to like finding a Whole Foods or Safeway. I mean, I couldn't even go grocery shopping.
You know, you're unique in that you also bring a business perspective to the story as well. And I'm curious how you talk about voting based on business policies, how easy or not it is to operate, innovate, low regulations, all of the things that go into creating a successful business.
Well, I think one of the signs of leadership is to be positive and to be very specific with your policies. And I see Trump having very, very specific policies around immigration, around AI, blockchain, as well as creating jobs. So you can look at the 2016 Jobs Act, which was a bipartisan effort. And he did a really great job creating more jobs, also investments in Black, brown communities, as well as kind of like hillbilly areas where JD Vance and I grew up.
Okay. So, like I said, if you just pay attention, and if you have been paying attention, it's an ongoing theme. Trump knows what the hell he's doing. I don't understand why it's even, trying not to be frustrated. I don't even understand why it's an issue. You cannot sit down and have a conversation with Papaw. Papaw right now couldn't balance his own checkbook. How the hell is he going to balance a budget? He can't balance his own checkbook. He can damn near balance himself. Weeble wobble, but no, he falls down. He's not even as good as a weeble wobble. What are we talking about? What are we talking about? You know, a lot of us that have been starting out this social media stuff, these podcasts, if we think back, me myself, I've been doing it 8 years now, 7.5 going on 8. Or was it 8.5 going on 9? One of them, give or take a year. There isn't too much that we haven't been off about, because it's common sense. When there's a trickle, you better believe eventually the drip is going to start getting heavier and heavier and heavier until it eventually comes into a full pour. But what happens is people don't want to take heed to the trickle. People don't want to take heed to the little drip drip. They want to wait till the faucet's full blown open and the knobs can't shut back off. And then they want to go in full panic mode. So before we get into this next conversation, make sure you like, share, subscribe, ring the bell so you can get those instant notifications, because I don't know how long they're going to keep me up here. Good morning, Mama D. But before we get into this next conversation, let me show the clip, because when shit gets out and they know it's out, they always try to find a way to slice it and dice it and mess your brain up. Okay, this is where we stop. They already had it established, right? Because there's a lot of people that don't pay attention to what's going on. If they already had it established, why you got to reestablish it? Listen, people, if they already had it established, why reestablish it? Remember that movie? What was it? With Tom Cruise? A Few Good Men. Was it A Few Good Men with Tom Cruise? And he goes, why the second order? If the first order was already in place, why the second order? That's first. And if it was already established between the ages of 18 and 24, why are you putting it up to 26? Do y'all know how many more men that they can take by just boosting up the age by 2 years across the board? That's at least another 200,000 men, 300,000 men. Why the second order? And why is the second order bumped up from the first order? What's wrong with 18 to 24? Why 18 to 26? Huh? And then the scary part, and if you look on the screen, it says now, but Congress and the president can reinstate the draft and force men to serve. Why is this all of a sudden on the radar? Why is this all of a sudden becoming a subject topic? Really? Force men to serve? Let's let him continue and then we'll go ahead and follow up. Now remember, you hear what he just said? Some people on social media might misunderstand. Well, let's just go down the list of some things we might have misunderstood. Did we misunderstand that the Russia was disinformation collusion? Did we misunderstand that? Did we misunderstand that the laptop was actual and factual? Did we misunderstand that? Did we misunderstand that there might have been some shenanigans taking place during the election? Did we misunderstand that Joe Biden was the big guy? Did we misunderstand that? Oh my goodness, there's too much stuff for us to misunderstand that came to be actual and factual for you to continue to say that we misunderstand. But let him continue. So I tell you what, they wouldn't. I didn't get the video, so y'all gotta hold up. Bear with me because I'll have it on now. Let me see if they will allow the video to play, and then we will come back to it because I don't think they let it play. And then we'll talk about it.
24 years old. There's no military draft in place right now, but Congress and the president can reinstate the draft and force men to serve in the event of a national emergency or war. This hasn't been invoked in more than half a century. Some people on social media appear to have misunderstood this and believe a draft is coming or that they are automatically going into the military.
Yeah, who is it? We're here for the military draft. Draft? That's correct. Oh, you talking about my TikTok draft? My draft? They a little embarrassing. No, young man. You are getting drafted. Oh, the draft? Yeah, it's a little windy in here. You talking about the war? You are going to war. I identify as a war.
Let's talk about it on this Social Media Monday. Joining us.
Look, I'm not even gonna play the video because they're just trying to get you to not believe what you already know possibly to be true. How long have we been talking about America going to war? We've been talking about America going to war for a while, haven't we? We've been talking about nuclear war. We've been talking about different countries, how they are in their own wars and things of that nature. This is my thing. If you got almost 20 million illegals in this country, why the hell are you having a draft of American men? Sorry if my brain tends to wander off like Papaw. We'll talk about him a little bit more into the show. If you got 15, do y'all not see the Asian migrants that are flooding across our border? Listen, Linda. Listen, Linda. This man just said that the president and Congress can implement the draft that can take our men into war if there's an altercation just like that. So, if there's an altercation and they take up 400,000 or 300,000 of our men to start training, because they got to train them, who's going to take those jobs? If they sending American boys and calling them up, oh, y'all didn't, I mean, how far did we have to come from the Russia to figure out where we are today? Who doesn't think we're on the brink of war? I'll wait. Who doesn't think that we're at the cusp, the tip of World War III? America knows it. The government knows it. Why do you think they're talking about this now? Why the second order? Why the second order? And why raise it 2 years? Because if you really sit back and know actual and factual, the average-minded person will be like, we're not going to go to war. We're not going to be like those movies we watch on TV when the ships roll ashore and the guys come down with the thingy on the boat and they running out and they getting shot up. We're not doing that. Why the second order? People, November is close. November is close. And I just say that because I know and understand something's got to pop off. Something has to pop off. It just can't be an everyday average stroll into November, stroll into election season. We're living in different times. Nothing else has been regular. So they pull up a draft. Who's going to defend us here at home? God forbid they want to send us out because they you know, for readiness sake. If Trump built the military up, why did you deplete the military just to have to and then you're going to take the age up? You better be making AR-15s or M16s with joystick controllers instead of a trigger. You better make sure it's got an A or X or a Y double trigger or something like that, because really, the House has to pass a second draft and take the age up from 24 to 26. Why the second order? If the first one was just fine, are we undermanned? Do we need people that desperately? Well, you know, they say desperate time calls for desperate measures. Desperate time calls for desperate measures. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. But I tell you what, if for some God-forsaken reason we do wind up having to go to war, Lord knows I do not want this man
on the television
anywhere.
Turn on the television.
I'm about to show it as soon as I can get it up. We don't need him running the show. Take it away, Sleepy.
You turn on the television, and there's not a whole lot about boy saves dog as he swims in the lake, you know, to say, you know, it's about, you know, somebody pushed the dog in the lake. I mean, I get it, but you turn on the television.
That is who's going to be in charge of what's going on if we decide to go to war with him at the helm. I'm going to show a brief clip here. Let me see if I can get it, because this is funny. I want to know. This is the man that's going to be in charge. This is the man that's going to be in charge right here. And let me see if I can get it up here. They don't want me to do nothing, but I got to bring this clip up. I'll bring this one up right here. Let me see. I'm not too good, but I'm doing some wraparound. Okay.
There seems to be a sort of rash of videos that have been edited to make the president appear especially frail or mentally confused. I'm wondering if the...
Okay, hold on. Okay. Everybody, y'all see everybody standing over there? Where the hell is Joe going? And listen to how she explains this shit. Let me see. Hey, I'm a tech too, but I'm not the best tech. Let me just play it. I keep trying to mess around. They're going to lock me out.
Rash of videos that have been edited to make the president appear especially frail or mentally confused. I'm wondering if the White House is especially worried about the fact that this appears to be a pattern that we're seeing more often.
Yeah, and I think you all have called this the cheap fakes video, and that's exactly what they are. They are cheap fakes video. They are done in bad faith, and some of your news organization have been very clear, have stressed that these the right wing critics of the president have a credibility problem because of the fact checkers have repeatedly caught them pushing misinformation, disinformation, and so we see this, and this is something coming from your part of the world, calling them cheap fakes and misinformation. And I'll quote the Washington Post, where they wrote about this, and they said how Republicans use misleading videos.
Okay, look, listen, Linda. I'm not a damn rocket scientist. What about that video is misleading? You have Barack Obama, Mr. Escort is what I call him. He's got his own escort service now. This man literally had to grab Joe Biden by the arm, and he didn't let Joe go until they got behind the curtain. They really want us not to believe what we see. Do you have to hold on to him all the way to the curtain, Barack? Why do you even got to touch him? That'd be my first thing. But you know, it's a thing with Joe. His handlers have to always go out and get him. Why don't they just put one of those adult harnesses on him? You know, like you see the Karens around the mall, they got the kid on the little extension leash that's about 5 or 6 feet and retractable. Some of them you put Joe on a leash. That's what you do. And when you're ready to go, just yank on him. Over this way, Joe. Let's go. But with Joe veering off into no man's land and somebody else having to go get Papaw and bring him back, and then we see it, and then we say, hey, we had to bring Papaw back, and then y'all like, no, that's not what happened. We like, what the hell are you talking about? Good morning, Robin. What are you talking about? We clearly see Barack Obama grab Papaw by the arm and didn't let him go until he got behind the curtain. He had his hand on his shoulder. Then he slid it down to his back, escorting him, and then talking to his ear. I can only imagine the conversation. Can you imagine the conversation that was taking place between Barack Obama? Come on, Joe. Joe, I'm about to give you another one, Joe. I'm about to give you volume. I'm about to get Joe. We got ice cream, Joe. Shuffle, come on. You can do it. Oh. or was it like, Joe, I told you was going to fuck this up. Like the one sister girl said, this is ticklish right about now. We are watching the disgrace. What? Let me get to the comments. Yes, I didn't forget the comments. Good morning, everyone. Robin is up in New York City. Robin said, makes me sick to my stomach. So pathetic. People still defend this. Robin, Robin, the devil is real. That's the only thing I can say, Robin, because I used to be one of those people, and I walked around and I said, can people really, and I hate to say it, can people really be this dumb? Can people really be this heartless? Can people really be this incompassionate? Can people really love evil this much? Because I don't just think about those people. I think about the people. I think about who they're able to have an influence on in their life, whether it be kids, animals, or anything. Because we have to remember, just like there's sane people and smart people that's raising the generation, obviously there's some dumbass people raising a generation too. So we always gonna have to counter offset this dumb shit. But you would think there would come a point. You would think, Robin, you would think there would come a point when people would, and there are people doing it, but you would think there would be more, because I can't believe there are still people, like you say, that defend this, that would just say enough is enough. Enough is enough already. The game ain't fun no more. You ever play a game or you ever watch a game and then the losing team, they're sore losers and they just start hitting below the belt, taking cheap shots and stuff like that. And then you're like, you know what? This ain't even fun no more. I don't even want to play the game, or I don't even want to watch the game, because you're taking the fun out of it. And that's what these people have done. Because, you know, there's even people that'll sit back and watch something, and even watch some dirt take place in it to a certain point, because it brings, because I'm one of those too. It brings a different level of excitement and anticipation to whatever it is, because you want to see if the other person is going to get out of it, overcome. You're like, oh man, he hit him below the belt. Let me see if he's still going to come back and whoop his ass, or something like that. So we look for that. But then they go to extreme. Then they want to pull a Mike Tyson and bite your ear off and shit. That is just, that's just total extreme. I can see you hitting behind the head, little rabbit punching. You know, you might hit below the belt. You know, break. You know, but that's like Mike Tyson biting off the ear. They are really, literally trying to destroy somebody. This ain't for the love of the game. This ain't for the love of politics. This is all for the love of power. It's all for the love of power. But how? How could anybody, no matter what you're in, what you're doing in the walk of life, are you really that ego driven? Are you really that power driven? Are you really that money hungry? Are you really that bad of a person that you would be willing to sacrifice someone else's life to further your own agenda? And that's what these people are doing. These people are willing to sacrifice Donald Trump and his family and his followers for the namesake of power, socialism, and communism. It's crazy. It's crazy. But where do we go? Where do we go from here? What do we do? They are getting ready to draft your boys, your men. Forget 24, They have taken the age up to 26. Why is a second order? It doesn't make sense. Why are you having a draft and you got almost 15 million illegal men here? Sign their ass up. Why are you touching us? Well, I've been touched once, and that was voluntarily, so I'm done. But I got one that's under the age that I don't recommend he go. But if they say he go, and then they want to put in the back conversation, well, if you don't go, it'll be a felony. But I don't think they'll lock you up. No, but they might take away your voting rights. No, your life might not never be the same afterwards. After you get whatever you get on whatever record you got. Why the second order? If the rules and regulations that they had in place were sufficient, and we wasn't doing nothing, and we wasn't on the piscopus of something about to jump off, why the second order? Why not leave well enough alone? Because for what's to come, we're not prepared. They know it. Sometimes people don't. Maybe I think too deep. They don't. How can you want to give up something that you hope to control one day? Let that set in. How can you give up something that you hope to control one day? Their intentions was never, in my opinion, to let another country come take over. Their intentions were just to eliminate what America is on the inside. Not the land, not the land that these bodies rest on, but to destroy the bodies itself. So now they're in a position where they see, okay, well, damn, other countries, they're about to backdoor us. They're about to screw us because they never cared. See, that with anything in life, when you decide to lay in bed with the enemy, you can't never get too comfortable with the enemy. You can't roll over and close both eyes and go to sleep on the enemy because they've tickled your fanny in the right way, or because they've done you some solids along the way, and all of a sudden you think, y'all buddy. Barack Obama, Joe Biden, and all the people that's running the show above them, they don't want these countries to come take over America. They want a country that they can have. They don't want to give it to nobody else. Well, see, that ain't what these other countries are thinking. These other countries are thinking, yeah, we got you right where we want you. We finagled and we loved you and we've caressed you and we've partnered up beside you and we've used you and abused you long enough. Now we literally want what's yours. Now we want what's yours. We got enough invested here. It's just a matter of doing it. The Democrats, over time, have created a monster that they can no longer control. Under this leadership, we are very vulnerable. Under this leadership, we are nowhere capable of being willing to fend off other countries. Time is getting short. The window is closing. November is near. Y'all just wait and see. Okay? That's all I can do. Y'all just wait and see. I appreciate everybody for tuning in today. Don't know how long Facebook is going to allow me to be up, so I urge everyone to please tap into my X account, the Patriots Lab Uncensored. Tap into my YouTube account over at the Patriots Lab Uncensored, and Rumble whenever it's up and running. But we do what we can. There's a lot of people dealing with the madness, but we keep navigating through. But yes, keep showing the boy love, keep support, share. Hey, in the meantime, in between time, till the next time, this is your man for a great Tuesday conversation, morning coffee. Deuces. I'm out, man. Pray for this country. I want to thank everybody for tuning in.